good? Day 2 so far? Good. So I'd like to take a brief moment to perhaps highlight some key points that we talked about yesterday, do a quick review of yesterday, and then apply those concepts to Renew 28. We're going to move part of these presentations into talking about Renew 28 and how it can help you build your business and what are the benefits that can be had from using this product. So, how many of you, most of you were here yesterday. We talked about a series of keywords yesterday to really help, really at a fundamental basis, describe what's happening in the body when redox signaling molecules are in action. So I'd like to go through that again, and it goes like this. Redox signaling molecules are tiny, high-energy molecules. Because they are tiny, they can be absorbed directly into the cell. Once absorbed, they turn an on-off switch, turning on cell signaling. Once a cell begins to signal, it signals to the cells around it. Those cells signal to the cells around them, beginning what we call the cascade or domino effect. And it's this cascade or domino effect that contributes to our resilience to stress and overall wellness. Who has practiced this since last night? Okay, some hands there. I'd like 4 people to come to the stage if you think you can do it. We'd like to go through that with you, okay? Okay, right there. Okay, 2. Who else thinks they can do it? I'm going to give you a bottle of ASEA if you can do it, okay? Great. 3, one more. There. Okay, give them a round of applause, guys.
Got up yesterday.
Microphone here. Great. Okay, so we'll just have you tell everybody your name, where you're from, and then your keywords, cell signaling keywords pitch, okay?
Fantastic, no pressure. Haven't been on the stage for a few years, and I got volunteered to go first. Thanks, ladies. So hi, I'm Justin Phillips from Bribie Island, and I'd like to give you a little bit of insight into these amazing things called redox signaling molecules. They're tiny little molecules, and because they're so small, they automatically absorb by our cells very easily. And when our cells receive them, it turns a whole lot of functions on and off. And that creates a cascading effect, a whole bunch of things that happen all throughout the body. And those impacts increase our resilience to stress and improves our general well-being.
Amazing, give them a hand. I'm going to stand over here so that I don't have to walk back and forth here. Go ahead, take center stage there. You got it.
Hi, my name's Kerry and I'm from the Sunshine Coast. Woohoo! Okay, my heart is really beating. Right, so what are redox molecules or redox cells? They are high energy, tiny little molecules. And when we absorb them in the mouth, about 15 to 30 seconds, and we swallow this, or even if we don't swallow it, so I learned that yesterday, even if it's just in the mouth, it still absorbs through our mouth, and our dentist notices in our teeth. So the absorption happens, and because they're so small, they absorb through the cells, right? Is that great? And then there's an on-off switch that happens through all the other molecules, and then this creates this cascading effect, which is like a dominoes effect, and then this creates this resilience to stress and overall wellness. So it's an amazing product.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Great job. Okay, tell everybody your name and where you're from.
My name's Kylie and I'm from a little country town called Stroud, which is about an hour north of Newcastle. So, what is redox signaling molecules? I'm so glad you asked. They are high energy, tiny little molecules. And because they're so tiny, they are so readily absorbed into every cell in your body. Once they're absorbed, they switch on the magic. They switch on energy into your cells, creating a cascading effect. And what that does, it it gets your cells talking to each other, and then those cells will talk to the next ones, and so on, and that continues. And the brilliance is, it creates resilience to stress and overall health and wellness.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Okay, bring us home.
Lucky loves. Hi everyone, my name is Lorna. I'm from North Brisbane. So what are our amazing magic molecules? They are tiny, high energy molecules, and because they're so tiny, they can actually get absorbed even just straight in our mouth without even swallowing. And once they are absorbed into each and every cell, effortlessly, like instantaneously, they actually act within the cell to turn on the on-off switch, which then starts a cellular signal communicating. So enhancing cellular communication, that then has a ripple effect that cascades right the way through our entire body. And the effect of that cascading effect is actually to increase our resilience to stress and overall wellness. So who doesn't want some of that?
Okay, easy, simple, right? Quick, amazing. Give them one more round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you were not here at the science session yesterday, first off, we want to see you next time. Second off, this is the gist, right? This is the summary of what we went over yesterday. All of the scientific research that we do is through the lens of these keywords. How redox signaling molecules work in the body can be understood through these keywords. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a doctor. Just familiarize yourself with these keywords and focus on the testimonies and the stories that you hear to build your conviction and your belief around this technology. Okay? So I want to talk a little bit about resilience to stress, because we're going to talk about why this is important with your skin and how Renew 28 helps to build that resilience to stress, and what are some of the effects in the skin when it becomes more resilient. Again, I'm going to go over this example that I did yesterday because I think it's important. I'm in the middle of a seesaw. One of the single most important things that I have as a human being is my ability to respond to stress. Right? If I cannot respond to stress, I cannot maintain my health and wellness. So I'm in the middle of the seesaw, and we're exposed to stress thousands of times a day. I walk outside into the hot sun, I'm exposed to UV rays, which are a form of oxidative stress. I am knocked off balance. I need to then respond to get back to center. I respond through redox signaling molecules. The cells use redox signaling molecules to respond to different forms of stress and environmental insults. So those redox signaling molecules help me respond and get back to center. That is the single most important thing that your body does to maintain your health and wellness, is respond effectively and resiliently to the stress that it experiences of the outside world. So in this resilience to stress, we took a look at a clinical level, did some research, and Scott pointed to this study earlier today briefly. I'd like to double click on it and drill down here just a little bit. When your skin is more resilient, it is more able to take care of itself. It is more able to stand up to the stressors that it is exposed to in your environment. So one on the more, I guess, beauty and appearance side is we took a look at pore size, porphyrins, and red areas, as well as blemishes like comedones, papules, and pustules, acne. We found a reduction in redness, in porphyrins, red areas, and acne. And that's not because the Renew 28 is removing that from the skin. It is enabling your skin cells to take care of themselves, and a healthy skin is a beautiful skin. So they're able to really remove, the skin cells are able to remove the blemishes from the skin because they are more resilient. In addition to that, we did some studies on wound healing. Scott alluded to wound healing. We found that key inflammatory markers in the skin, IL-6 and IL-8, were reduced over time when the skin cells were treated with Renew 28. And the reason that this is important is wound healing is almost all about inflammation response and inflammation control. If you can reduce inflammation, there are benefits to be had in helping your skin repair itself. Let's move on into inflammation and aging. In the industry, and I spoke about this yesterday, inflammation has been closely tied to aging in researching communities for medical health, biotechnology, biology. They're all looking at biomarkers that point to inflammation and are linking that to longevity. Who here has heard the word inflammaging before? Okay, a few of you. Let me explain what that word means. It is the phenomenon that as we age, key inflammatory markers rise in the body. Billions of dollars in the health, wellness, pharmaceutical, medical community have been allocated to addressing the consequences of elevated inflammation markers in the body. But very little has been done to address the inflammation itself, or the oxidative stress itself. The question is, what is it that causes this inflammation as we age? What is it that causes inflammation? It is a reduction in cellular signaling. So as we age, we lose the ability to signal. These redox signaling molecules that are created in the mitochondria. Again, remember, redox signaling molecules are 100% native to the body. Your mitochondria in your cells are making this every single day, and the body knows exactly what to do with it. But as we age, we lose the ability to create these redox signaling molecules. So here's a healthy cellular network communicating, but as it ages, it begins to break down. And as we age further, more of those connections are broken. The communication is not happening as it used to. But what if we could restore cellular communication through supplementation of redox signaling molecules? If inflammation and the inflammation markers that occur from aging are directly tied to a cell's ability to communicate, because if it can't communicate, it cannot execute the functions that it needs to replicate itself, to take care of itself and maintain its health and wellness in the way that it needs to. It must signal to execute every function that the cell does. So as the signals break down, inflammation rises. If we can restore signaling, we are addressing in a very real way the cause of inflammation as we age, or inflammation. So I want to give you a couple of keywords as we move into talking about Renew 28 here in the next couple of presentations. There are 3 R's that I like to associate with Renew 28. One is restore. Renew 28 cell signaling and redox technology restores cellular signaling. It restores the cell's ability to signal to the cells around it. This has a rejuvenating and renewal effect in the cell. A cell that can properly communicate can properly maintain its health and wellness and is more resilient to stress. So the resilience coming in there at the end, the last R of the 3 R's of Renew, resilience. Especially in the case of skin. Skin is the largest organ in the body, and it's responsible for keeping all of the environmental insults out of your body. It is a huge shield for what's happening inside of your body. You want your shield to be resilient. You want your shield to be strong. That is why this resilience to stress is absolutely critical, and it's one of the primary benefits of Renew 28, is helping to improve your resilience to stress at the cellular level, at the interface of where you're exposed to most of your environmental insults and stress. So remember that. Redox signaling molecules are tiny high-energy molecules. Because they're tiny, they can be absorbed into the cell. Once they're absorbed, they act as an on-off switch, turning on cell signaling. Once a cell is signaling, it signals to the cell next to it. Those cells signal to the cells next to them, beginning the cascade or domino effect. And it's this cascade or domino effect that contributes to our resilience to stress and overall wellness. Thank you so much for letting me talk to you guys about Renew.